Yo, what up, boys? It has been a couple of days since I uploaded my presumably last video. And at the time, I wasn't lying. Because I had the worst 2 days of my life. It sounds like I'm overreacting. And I can understand why you guys would think that, because you don't have access to all of the information. Well, today, I'm going to bring you that information. And I'm going to tell you something that 99% of the community is not aware of, including Blizzard. We have to start from the beginning. Throughout the period of time we have created videos, I've received these threats either in-game, through YouTube, through Discord, or through my WhatsApp. But none of those threats faced me, because I know, as well as you guys know, that those are just empty threats. In fact, it wasn't any of the threats that I received. It was the threat that I didn't receive that scared the living shit out of me. All of this was brought to my attention by a guy working within the industry himself. This Swedish guy is running 6 bots on the EU servers. He's running 5 of them on hardcore and 1 on era. This guy reached out to me in-game and said, I want to show you something that will make you really angry. I accepted his call on Discord and he started streaming his Discord back to me. He was extremely nice, he was very well spoken, and he explained to me that he's making almost $2,000 from running these 6 bots every single month. He's paying about $100 for subscriptions and then a little bit more for the electricity, and he's running everything locally on his machines. This means he has 2 computers, one which he's gaming on himself, and then one standing next to him with a secondary monitor where he can monitor all of his 6 bots. He found my videos very hilarious because he said he would never fall for it personally. He will never die to the methods that I'm using because he's actually able to manually take over control of the bots immediately if he sees something fishy goes on his other screen. Now, this nice Swedish guy, he didn't reach out to me because he wanted to show me his own setup. This guy reached out to me because he wanted to show me the Taiwan botting Mafia setup. He explained to me that these guys are not only botting in World of Warcraft. These guys are botting in Path of Exile, Diablo 3, Diablo 4, Last Epoch, New World, Pokemon Go, some Star Wars game that I haven't heard of, and a bunch of other games. We want to focus on World of Warcraft because that's our game of choice and that's really what we have interest in. He explained to me that this botting Mafia is not running 4 bots or 6 bots. They are running 12,000. 12,000 bots. If you can wrap your head around that this Swedish guy is making about $2,000 after paying subscription and electricity bill, you can only imagine how much money these guys are printing. And that's in World of Warcraft alone. You have to understand they're running this in 10 other games as well. He also explained to me that these guys are not only running their bots locally. That means they are using warehouses, but they also utilize the cloud. If they are botting in Europe or if they are botting in America, they are using the cloud in that specific data center, so the bot is actually running within Europe region. That means that they don't get fucked over by the ping. This also explains why most of the hunters that we saw, at least in the beginning of my crusade, they all had Chinese names. So the bot actually looks like it's from Europe. If Blizzard were to check the IP address and where it's connected from, it's most likely in a data center somewhere located in Europe. But the bot is being operated all the way from Taiwan. Now, this is not rocket science. You can probably figure this out. If you thought about it long enough, you would probably come to the same conclusion. However, what I'm going to tell you now blew my fucking mind, and I have goosebumps just talking about this. This botting Mafia is splitting their bots up to 1 pack of 1,000 bots. This basically means they have 12 times 1,000 bots. They have a private developed botting software, and they are making 12 different versions of this software. That means they are not identical. They mutate it and modify it in such a way that it looks like 12 different versions. Whenever Blizzard's Warden system detects a botting software, it's removing them within a ban wave. This means every 4 to 6 months, maybe 1,000, which is only 1 out of the 12 packs that the botting Mafia is running, is getting banned. And this explains why we as the community, when we see there's a ban wave, Blizzard comes out and they say, oh, we banned 33,000 bots. They're like clapping in their hands and we're like, oh, great, now I can go farm again. And then you go to the location that you want to farm, and the same 6 bots that you've seen there 8 times, they're still there. They're still there. And you're like, wait, didn't they just say that they had a ban wave? Why are these guys still here? That's the explanation. These guys, when the warden detects a botting software, it only removes that particular botting software. But the 11,000 other bots, they are still running. And here's another crazy part. The botting mafia knows this, that every 4 to 6 months, a ban wave rolls out. This basically means that they have already prepared 1,000 new accounts and also a brand new version, a new mutation of the previous software. And those same bots that just got banned, the new ones are up and running that very same day, if not the day after. This is fucking insane to me. This basically means that out of their entire operation, every time there's a ban wave, they are only getting hit by 10% of their WoW bots. 10%. Now remember what I told you earlier. These guys are not just running bots in World of Warcraft, but in 10 other games. That means whenever Blizzard rolls out a ban wave, actually only 1 to 2% of their entire botting operation is being affected by that ban wave. And the very next day, it's back up and running. This is fucking incredible. And it basically explains that Blizzard are doing something. I am not the one to say that they're not doing enough. But what we are observing, whenever we see a ban wave and we see the same bots running around right after the ban wave, and we're like, what the fuck? Why are these guys still here? I thought they banned them. That's the explanation. Blizzard are banning someone, but they are only hitting one part of the software. The 11 other mutations of that software is still up and running. Now let's get to you guys' favorite part. I'm terrible with math, so it's not my favorite part, so I will probably get something wrong, but we need to break down the numbers. If 6 bots is able to make $2,000, that's the information that we got from this Swedish guy, then 1 bot is able to make a little more than 300. If you've watched my videos, you know that I like to downplay things. I want to make sure that we are on the right side of things. So let's say that we remove 20 to 30% and 1 bot is actually only making 250. That way we know the bare minimum of what they're able to produce. Then we take that number, we times it with 12,000. That's $3 million. $3 million. And that's only from the World of Warcraft bots alone. Remember, they are botting in many other games as well. Now, of course, there's some operation costs here. There's maintenance of machinery, there's subscriptions to World of Warcraft, there's subscription to the cloud service that they are running when they are running bots in the cloud, either in Europe or in North America. So let's just remove 1 million, just to be on the good side of things here. That is still a $2 million profit from running bots in World of Warcraft alone. Wrap your head around that for a second. Now you have a rough idea of how much money these guys are making. And that's why I got fucking scared. Because if they are making $2 million just running World of Warcraft bots, ordering a hitman to fuck me up would be equivalent for them to purchase a sneakers. That's how much money they're making. And the first thing that I thought about whenever I was thinking about a botting mafia and compare it to something else, I was thinking about a drug cartel. So this is a crazy thought, but just bear with me for a second. If you're producing coke all the way up in Eastern Plaguelands, and you want to sling that shit all the way down in Teneris, let's say it costs $10 for a gram up here and $80 down here. The reason it costs $80 down here is because you have to transfer it all the way through Western Plaguelands, into Hinterlands, Arathi, Wetlands, go to Loch Madan, go to Dunmarok, Searing Gorge, Burning Steps, get to Stormwind, and then you maybe sell it from Stormwind all the way to Steamweedle Port. Crossing all of these borders, there's a lot of risk involved. The police wants to fuck you up. You're also dealing with very dangerous people doing these logistic and distribution things that there's money involved. All of the middlemen alongside this road, they want to get some money. The guy who's fucking selling it from Stormwind to Steamweedle Port, he wants something as well. That's why it sells for $80 down here. You have a very big chance of getting into jail for 10 years. You have a chance of dying doing this. There's a lot of risk involved. Why would you ever risk running a drug cartel when you can just run 12,000 bots in a video game and no one will ever give you shit? The police can never get involved in this. Blizzard is the police. Blizzard is doing a good work. I can see it from the mails that I'm receiving. They are banning people, but they are not on top of it. It's not like they're as I had the understanding in the beginning of World of Warcraft when I started playing it back when I was a kid, people were getting banned for almost nothing. You could say a slur to somebody and you would get a communication ban. So they were on top of things, but it has gotten loose now. I suppose the botting operation is just getting better. But think about it for a second. Why would you do all that risk of logistics, of selling drugs and transferring drugs, if the same people, the same type of person can start a botting operation instead? I believe that's why they call it the Mafia, because it's the same type of person. They just changed what they're selling, and they change how they acquire it. That's why I got scared. Whenever I saw my information being leaked in there, it was not a death threat that I received, as I said. It was the one that I didn't receive. And these guys are printing money. That's why I got scared. I can understand it from the botter's perspective. I understand it from Blizzard's perspective. And I understand it, of course, from my own perspective. I don't want to be a part of it because I don't want to die. The botters don't want to stop because they're printing money. And Blizzard don't want to stop it. Of course they want to stop it, but they don't want to stop it that much because they are also getting money. And also, we do not understand the difficulty of removing bots. We see it from a player's perspective. I use 16 hours per day in this game. That's why I see the bots. But if the guys that are responsible of removing the bots are not the ones that are actually playing the game, they don't see how large a problem this really is because they don't experience it in the game. I believe it's important that the people that should remove the bots are also the people that actually plays the game. Now, Asmongold has a great point. I want to show this because he actually put some light onto this.
Threaten to kill someone just because your business isn't working anymore? Well, of course you do. So, like, if you have somebody that's hurting your business and you can kill them and then have the business work, well, then why wouldn't you want to kill them? Of course. Yeah, duh. That's why they do it. That's why they're threatening him. Absolutely. Yes, fucking obviously.
So exactly as you point here, remember this is taken out of context. Asmongold is on our side. So don't take this out of context. I understand why I'm getting threats. I really do. And I understand if I said this in one of my very early videos, if I would receive a ban from Blizzard, I would understand it as well. Because in terms of conduct, they say that you cannot grief other players on hardcore. I don't qualify bots as being real players because to me, World of Warcraft is all about killing NPCs. A bot is an NPC. I'm just killing an NPC within a game, to my defense. But I understand if you dig into the terms of use or code of conduct of World of Warcraft, I'm griefing. So I understand why Blizzard would ban me. I understand why the botters are interested in killing me because I see the amount of money that they make and I'm interfering with this. And of course I can understand it from my own perspective why I would withdraw myself from this situation because I don't want to fucking die. And these guys that are getting death threats, they have security. I don't have, I can't afford security. They have like, if you take an A-list celebrity, like one of these musicians or a movie star, they have like a 4-meter fence around their compound. Do I look like a guy who has fence money? I can't afford that shit. But what actually got me to upload another video was this thing coming up right here.
In 2019 and 2020, Classic WoW release, I made a lot of gold making content, gold farming content, investment content, and bot hunting content. I hunted down bots like pretty much on a weekly basis and made content of it. I received threats as well. I received a couple of threats in real life, in A4 paper, pen and paper threats, in my mailbox outside. One of them was slipped under my door. I'm still here. Nothing has happened. I took it to the authorities. Nothing has happened. After that, probably somebody just like sent a mail. I can send a mail right now from here to like Belgium.
And he talks about, continue on talking about this situation of him receiving threats. And it has gotten even closer to this guy because they were at his store. They were slipping a paper underneath his door. He received death threats in his mail, meaning that his information, he has also been doxxed. His information is out there as well. I realized apparently it's not difficult to just gain anyone's information nowadays. The crazy thing is that these botters, they had my old email. When I went to elementary school, the mail that I was using back then to create my Skype, my MSN, and my WoW account, as well as some other things, they had that email. I had forgot that email even existed. this was mind-boggling to me. When I saw that email address, I was like, holy shit, I used to have that email. How the fuck are they getting this information? But apparently that's not difficult. That's a whole other topic to talk about security. Like, I don't want to get into this stuff. That's for someone else to talk about, not me. This last thing that Asmongold said is also extremely important. And that was the tip of the iceberg for me that said, I have to come back to this. I have to make more videos about this. I cannot put my tail between my legs and run away whenever this shit happens, because it happens to basically everyone. Watch this.
It's really sad. Yeah, obviously it makes sense why people would be doing this. I get death threats every day. People, and it's a very good way of getting people to not talk about things or not do things, is that, well, we're going to threaten to kill you if you do it. And a lot of people just don't care about it that much. And so they say, all right, I just don't want to deal with this, right?
Asmongold gets death threats all the time. I probably believe that he gets it daily. And he still lives in the same house. He does the same thing. He eats the same thing. He wears the same clothes, and nothing has ever happened to this guy. He does have security money, but I don't believe that he's spending those money on security. So if he's not scared, and if the other YouTuber's not scared, then I shouldn't be either. It's not just YouTubers and guys from Twitch who is getting death threats. You remember this guy that I was talking about in the beginning? The Swedish botter. Now, he said this to me during our conversation. The only reason I lurk in this Discord is to make sure I stay off their radar. Because trust me, they want me more than they want you. And this was the guy who showed me that they have my sensitive information. This guy's afraid as well. This means that both sides of the coins are getting death threats. Now, I want to round this video off because it's already far too long. And I want to round it off on this note. Don't go to your favorite streamer in OnlyFans and say react to this and react to that. You have to remember that some of the people from OnlyFans, they knew a fresh hardcore server would come out before it came out. And also Grubby and a few other streamers has said that they were paid by Blizzard to play for the first few days of the hardcore server. You could imagine that they are contractually bound to not talk about this stuff, because what I'm telling you is very negative stuff, and it's not going to create good PR. These guys from OnlyFans, they are playing the game for fun. They do not want to talk about negative stuff. Respect it, okay? I respect it, and I understand it. And most of these guys are probably contractually bound to not talk about it. So don't go after the OnlyFans streamers and say, why do they ignore this problem? They ignore it, half of them, because they are only playing the game for positive vibes. And the other half is probably contractually bound to not talk about it because they were paid by Blizzard to play for the first couple of weeks here, or the first couple of days of the fresh hardcore server. Now, the last word is this. I'm not going anywhere. I shouldn't have, in the beginning, put my tail between my legs and run away whenever things get sour. The show goes on, baby, and we're gonna fuck these guys up.